Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Say Gay podcast with Toby Cuffle. I hope you guys are doing amazing. So today I think we're on episode like 12 right now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this episode. I feel like this episode is gonna be a little bit different than like my normal topics of like a lot of like gay talk and whatnot, but this is gonna be something that I personally think is gonna be very, very helpful. And it's just kind of some stuff I really wanted to get off my chest in this episode. So yeah, let's kind of get into it. First, before we get into that though, I do want to say a big like thank you to everybody for like last week's episode, because I did get a bazillion messages last week just about, like people reaching out and asking if I was doing okay and everything like that. And I did say at the end of the episode I didn't want like a big pity party of everyone feeling bad for me about the breakup. So, but nobody really like was, trying to make it like a pity party. A lot of people were just reaching out to say, asking if I was okay and saying if I needed to talk and, to give them a call or whatnot. So I do appreciate everybody reaching out and all the love and support from you guys. Like it means a lot to me. So it's just, thank you guys. Thanks a lot. And I had lots of comments and whatnot. So, and I know it's like kind of a lot of people were like, this is like devastating news in a way. And so, yeah, I don't know, but I just wanted to say thank you guys, because you guys are super duper sweet. And I really appreciated all the nice messages. And obviously, it's still fresh and everything, and we're still kind of going through the motions of it all, but everything, it goes day by day. And so everything's going to be okay. And I know that. And so, it is what it is. So, yeah, but anyways, today I kind of wanted to talk about, I'm calling this topic protecting your peace, because this is something that I have learned personally, not just through this like breakup process, but also just kind of like in life in general. And even with this podcast and, hearing a lot of like negativity, and like just protecting your peace is one of those, like advice tips that my mom gave me a really, really long time ago, because my mom has gone through lots of things in her life where, she's had lots of opinions thrown at her, and she has, always said that like the number one thing you can do in life is always protect your peace. And I don't know if everybody understands kind of what that means, but like it just kind of basically means doing things to protect your own like mental health, and doing things to, keep yourself going and whatnot, and not letting, other people's opinions bother you, or letting other like people stop you in general. And protecting your peace can mean a lot of different things. And so I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about that, because this is something, like I said, that I'm going through with a lot of different things in life currently. And so I kind of wanted to talk about all those things and, just talk about it, because I think this is something that I've learned lately, and it's helped me a lot with protecting my peace. And it's, like I said, it's like the number one piece of advice that my mom has ever given me, and it's like helped me so much through all the processes and whatnot of my life. So here lately I've been hearing a lot of stuff like said behind my back, and it's kind of irritating, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm not gonna be putting anybody on blast. I'm not gonna say any names. I don't do that. I think that's super messed up for me to say any names, because even though saying somebody's, if someone, I don't even know how I'm trying to say this, if someone's like pissing me off and like doing things behind my back that's like irritating me, it's not fair for me to just go put them on blast. I'm not that petty. I think that's stupid. Obviously this podcast is broadcasted everywhere, so it's like I'm not gonna like spill a bunch of names so you guys can try to go find these people. But I've been hearing a lot of different things said behind my back, through this breakup process. I'm not saying like there's just a lot of different stories coming through from this breakup process of like who did what, who was at fault and whatnot. And so I've been hearing a lot of different things, coming from that. And it's honestly irritating, because it's like, I thought this whole breakup process was going to be super duper civil, which it is. Like, it's not like we're all like hating each other, but there's just been a lot of different things said. And so it's just about kind of like ignoring those things of like, for a breakup, especially, like I know my side of the story, and the other people involved know their side of the story. And then friends and family from there, they can kind of choose, what to believe, whose opinion to believe and whatnot. But in my opinion, I don't think a breakup should make friends choose a side, even though that kind of seems like what's happening, because a lot of the people that I thought were my friends are not really the friends that I thought they were. And so it sucks and it's shitty, but like it's also one of those things that like by me protecting my peace and my own mental health, I'm not gonna let it bother me in any way. So, like if your friends are, choosing a side through a breakup, or if they're being shitty to you, it's like those people obviously weren't your friends to start with. So that's kind of something that I've had to learn with protecting my peace, is not, feeling the need to get all upset about somebody potentially deleting me or blocking me. Like, I've had a bunch of people block or delete me after this breakup, and I don't know why. I don't know what their story is. I probably never will know, but it's one of those things that by me protecting my peace, I don't have to worry about that. And then another thing that I've been hearing behind my back is there's a lot of people saying stuff about the podcast of, saying what I should or shouldn't say on this podcast, which, if I'm being completely bluntly honest, I think it's a bunch of bullshit, because for one, this is my podcast. I can say what I want on here. The guests I bring on can say what they want on here. Like, there's no limit to what is able to be said on this podcast. And for anybody to sit there and say that something somebody said is shitty, like, this is an open platform, and I want people to be open with it, because by being open with all of the things that people have gone through in their lives, it's helping other people. So when I bring certain guests on and we talk about, if it's family issues, relationship issues, whatever it might be, they're allowed to talk about that. And if people get upset about it, it's just one of those things. Like, it's just not okay. So I don't know. I've just been hearing a lot of certain people saying things a lot about the things I've talked about, especially on the episode with my mom and my stepdad. I've had lots of family saying that there was things that said on there that were lies or false or not true, and they can think that they're not true by all means. Like, y'all go ahead, but I've lived my life with, having some homophobia and racism and whatnot in my family, and it's something that I feel the need to talk about, because it's helping other people to realize what they can or cannot go through. And I have a lot of family. So certain people in my family reaching out to say, that isn't true about our family. Like, I have a lot of family. Like, you guys, I've never said names. I've never said who said what. So it's like, I'm not calling people out on that, but it's still my open platform to talk about it, because me talking about my homophobia in my family is going to help somebody else to deal with the homophobia in their family. So I think it's kind of annoying for them to all be reaching out and saying, and they're not even reaching out to me, you guys. Like, that's the thing. It's behind my back. Like, people are reaching out to other people in my friends or family and saying that what I'm saying on episodes is not right. But it's like, it is right. Like, for me to be able to talk about it, it's kind of a growing opportunity for me, and then also a learning opportunity for everybody else out there, because somebody out there could be listening to this who is potentially in the closet because their family is homophobic, and it can help them to, learn how to come out, or, not deal with the homophobia. So for people to say that I can't talk about certain things on this platform is just kind of BS to me, because like I said, I can talk about whatever I want on here, because I'm trying to help other people by talking about it, because I've gone through it. And, there might have been a time that I wasn't comfortable talking about it because I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. And that's not what I'm trying to gain by talking about it, is stepping on anybody's toes, especially in my family. I've talked about that. I don't exactly talk to a lot of my family anymore because of certain reasons. Like, I just don't feel as included in some things. And there's a lot of, things said in the family that they might say thinking it's not homophobia, but it comes off as very homophobic. Like, and it's fucked up. So it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of a learning opportunity for them too, to not say things like that, like learning from their mistakes in a way. So it's one of those things that it's just been on my mind, and it's been bothering me, is a lot of all the things being said behind my back of like if you guys have a problem, bluntly saying it, you guys, if there's a problem with something I've said on the podcast, like if it's friends or family or whatever, reach out to me. Like, please stop reaching out to my family or my friends and being like, ooh, like, that's basically essentially talking shit behind my back. Like, just reach out to me. Like, well, I don't know why people are so afraid to reach out, like, especially my family that wants to be my family. Like, if you're so afraid to reach out to me, like, just reach out to me. Like, if you have a problem with what I say, explain yourself. Like, there is certain ways to go about it, that rather than, going behind my back and talking about it, because going behind somebody's back to talk about it just makes it seem like you're talking crap. So that's just something I wanted to talk about, and within this episode is a lot of the stuff I've been hearing, and kind of how I've been dealing with it is just in a way protecting my peace, because like don't let somebody, talking crap or whatnot, like mess with you mentally, because it's not worth it at the end of the day. Like I've been hearing so much shit being said behind my back about the podcast, about the breakup, about, what I'm doing with my life. Like everybody's going to have an opinion on something that you're doing, whether you're, being successful, or if you're, figuring things out, if you're going back to school, if you're getting a new job, if you're getting a new car, everybody's going to have an opinion about it no matter what you're doing. Like right now I'm going through so many changes in my life. I have, with this whole breakup, like I had to decide whether or not I was going to stay in Texas. I had to decide, like I'm literally right now searching for a new car. I have been potentially looking for a new job, like all these things. And it's like, everybody's going to have an opinion about those things, but all their opinions aren't going to change my life in a way, like obviously good opinions, like giving good feedback, like that can help somebody, but having a negative opinion, talking crap behind their back, like not saying it to them, that's not like that's not gonna change anything that I'm doing. Like you talking crap about me isn't gonna mess with me mentally, because it's just one of those things of like kind of bulletproofing your mindset. Like that's something I learned a really long time ago. And just having like thicker skin. Like I learned that really, really early on in life because I was gay at a younger age, and it's just I grew up in a very small town, a very homophobic small town. So like having a thicker skin for me was something that I learned. And so, people talking shit like that isn't going to change like my mental health, because I don't care. Like if I'm being completely honest, I do not care when people talk crap about me, because the opinion just doesn't matter. I live my life based on what I want to do. I live my life wanting to be happy and, living the life that I want to live. So someone talking crap out there or having a negative opinion on something that I'm doing isn't going to change anything for me, because I'm doing the things that make me happy at the end of the day. So don't let somebody talking crap, mess with your mental health, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. And another thing within that is being mad or sad about a situation that you cannot control. It's not going to change the situation. And that is something I have learned very, very heavily within this breakup. Me going through this breakup at first, I didn't feel anything about it. I didn't feel any type of way about it. And so a lot of people thought that was really weird that I didn't feel anything. And it was, it was just kind of like my coping mechanism in a way. So, I didn't feel anything at first. And then, I felt very angry, and then I felt very sad. And then I would kind of go back and forth, and then I was kind of depressed for a little bit. But like at the end of the day, being mad or sad about those situations, being mad or sad about whatever my exes are doing or whatever my family's doing, getting upset about those things isn't going to change how those things go. Like they're still going to happen. They're still going to be doing whatever they're doing. So being mad or sad about the situation isn't going to change anything. Like that's something I learned going through this, is it's just not going to change. So it's like, why waste your mental health and your sadness or madness and like getting super pissed off or getting super upset? And, like, I'm not saying you can't feel those things. So those are emotions. Obviously you are going to have, like, people are people. So we're going to have those emotions, but continuing to stay mad and stay sad about those situations and not talk about it or whatever, it's not going to change the situation in any form. So it's just kind of something that you have to work through. And for me, working through it is just like talking about it. Like my mom has been my rock. Like I call her like 3 to 4 times a day, like about everything, everything going on with this podcast I talk to her about, everything going on in life, everything going on with the breakup. Like she knows quite literally everything about me and about my life. And a lot of people think that's really weird. I've been hearing that. Like a lot of people are like, that's weird, like how close you are with your mom. But she's just my rock. Like my mom is my best friend, as you guys, like I had her on the podcast. Like she is just somebody that I can talk to about anything, and I will never change that. So she has been like my rock. And so being able to talk about those things has like really, really helped. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you can feel those emotions, but just don't let them bother you so much that it kind of messes with you mentally or whatnot. Like don't let them completely bother you to where it's going to affect how you're living your life, One of the best things you couldn't do in those situations of people like talking crap or, going through something is just let it go. Like learning to let things go, the things you cannot control, like just let it go, because like I said previously, like it's just letting things go is going to protect you the most. And like people talking shit and people talking crap and, bashing on you for whatever you're doing, like letting those things go, like just don't let those opinions stop you. Like whatever you want to do, however you want to dress, however you want to live, whoever you want to be, just do it. Like, people talking crap, like, let them. Like, who cares? Like, I personally don't give two shits when people talk crap about me, because they're talking about me. Like, okay, I don't care. Like, if you talking crap about the podcast, okay, you're still talking about it. That means you probably listen to it. I think Cardi B says it all the time. Like, my haters pay my bills or whatever. Like, she says something like that. So it's like, it's just one of those things that it's like, just let it go and just move on. Like, I've learned to let things go is amazing. I want to talk like the whole protecting your peace thing, you guys, like learning to protect your peace. This is something I actually talked about with my mom. My mom kind of inspired this whole episode, so shout out to you, Mom. I know you listen to the podcast. Learning to protect, this is something she actually said to me, like word for word, is learning to protect your peace is hard at first, but when you do it, it makes life 10 times easier. So, as you guys know, I don't know if my mom talked about it, but I know I've talked about it. Like, my parents are divorced, like they're not together, but going through her divorce, she had to learn how to protect her peace in a lot of different ways. And that might have been, cutting people off, or, not exactly like explaining her side of the story. Like, that is something that going through, especially a breakup, like, people want to hear your side of the story in a lot of different ways, but it's like one of those things that just, you don't have to explain your side of the story whatsoever. Like, if you don't want to explain your side of the story going through a breakup, a divorce, whatever, your career change, the way you're dressed, if you're coming out, all those things, like, you don't have to explain your side of the story. Like, if you want to not explain it, that is you protecting your peace right there. So for her, like, she went through a lot of those things of like, cutting a lot of people off that meant a lot of things to her because they were talking crap, or because people were choosing sides. Like, a lot of people I've noticed in this breakup, like, they choose sides, which is ridiculous. Like, in my opinion, it's so stupid. Like, we had friends before, like, why can't we stay friends? Like, I just don't get it. So it is what it is. I don't really care that much. Like, it did bother me at first, but like, this happened a while ago. So it's like, obviously I know people are gonna, choose sides. They're gonna whatever. Like, I just don't care. I'm moving on. I'm living my life for me. I'm not living it for somebody else. I'm not living it to, make other people happy. Like, I'm living my life to make myself happy. So learning to protect your peace in a way, it's going to be really, really hard. Like, I can't lie, because it's one of those things that, like, learning, like, you have to kind of recognize the people that are ruining your peace in a way. Like, who is, throwing negative things at you, who's talking crap about you, like, who are those people that you potentially need to cut out of your life to protect your peace. Like, it is very hard to learn, it's hard to recognize, but once you do it and once you learn how to do it, it makes everything a lot easier, because you don't have those negative opinions, you don't have those people who are trying to cut you down, you don't have those people, throwing things at you all the time, because you've protected your peace in a way. Like, it's just, living your life that way makes things so much better, because you're just going to live a lot happier, and you're not going to have to deal with all that negativity and everything like that. And I even wrote down here, sometimes you have to sacrifice relationships with certain people to protect your peace. And having to sacrifice certain relationships, it sucks. Like, I can't even lie. Like, a lot of the people, like, going through this breakup that have blocked or deleted me, they were people that I talked to every single day, or people that I had opened up to about a lot of things, and then they just, like, cut me out for whatever reason. And I don't know why. I probably never will know why. And it sucks. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's really shitty, but it's, one of those things that, I guess they didn't want to be friends. And so I have to kind of sacrifice knowing why they deleted me, or sacrifice the relationship with that person to protect my peace. I don't let it bother me. And it's just one of those things. And the same thing with, like, family, like, protecting my peace in a way and not talking to my family, because for me, it just makes me, it just makes my life easier to not have to talk about certain things, or not have to, like, associate with certain people, I guess I could say, because I don't talk, like I've said, I don't talk to my family as much as other people might. As you guys know, like, moving down here, like, I don't have any family around here. Like, I don't talk to any of my family back home, really. I talk to my mom every day. I talk to my brother every day. I talk to my stepdad every day. Those are, like, the three, my closest family members. But, like, a lot of my extended family on both sides of my family, like my mom's side and my dad's side, I just don't really talk to most of them, because it's me protecting my peace in a way, because I've heard lots of things behind closed doors. I've heard what they said about me or my family, and it's just not one of those things that I want to associate with. It's like, every time we are around family members or like certain friends, like, every time I'm around certain people, I always get this energy, I get this vibe of, like, not welcome, or they're walking on eggshells to not make people upset. So it's just, like, one of those awkward situations where it's like, I feel like for me, I need to protect my peace in a way and just not associate myself with them. And it's like, I don't completely ignore my family. Like when my family calls or texts me, I answer. I still talk to them. It's not like I'm completely cut them out of my life. Like I still have a somewhat of a relationship. It's just I don't go to family functions as much, and I don't, like it's just one of those things. I don't know how to really explain that, but it's just, I don't know. And more stuff I hear about like what they say, especially about this podcast, it's like irritating to me. And like I said, if people have a problem with, how I'm living my life, or if they have a problem with something I'm doing and whatnot, like go to that person directly, like come to me directly. If you have an issue with what I'm doing with my life, what I'm saying on this podcast, like come to me directly and we can talk about it like adults. Like going behind my back and talking to other people, it's what is that gonna do? Like it's just fucking stupid if you ask me. But yeah, protecting your peace, you guys, it's just like one of those things that you kind of have to learn how to do it, and it's gonna make your life a lot easier, especially like in this, like the LGBTQ plus community. Like if you're coming out, if you are, going through a big life change, like just protecting your peace in that way to, live who you want to be, just do it. It's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to make it so much more worth it to not have to deal with certain aspects and dealing with homophobic family or friends or bad friends or family in your life. Just don't like cut, I'm not saying you have to like cut people off like left and right, but if you realize that that relationship isn't serving you in any way, or if them talking crap about you is just making your mental health go down or whatnot, like just cut them out. Like it's not worth it to keep someone toxic in your life like that, because it's never gonna stop. It's just one of those things. Like it's never gonna stop if you allow it to keep going. So cut people out if you have to. Like you don't have to give the energy that you get. Me and Nick say that all the time. I'm giving what I'm getting. Like if someone is giving you all this negativity, give it back. Like maybe not. Actually, that's kind of bad advice. Like if they're giving you negativity, don't give it back, but just cut them out. Like always. And I think that goes with like the whole saying of when people are like reaching out. Like I feel like sometimes there's like those one-sided relationships where people reach out all the time, but that person never reaches out back. Like give what you get. Like if they're not reaching out to you, then stop reaching out to them and see what happens. So it's just one of those things. You guys have to kind of learn how to protect your peace and don't let somebody fuck with your mental health, and just learning to let it go. Learning to let it go is going to save you guys 100%. Like in my opinion, it's always helped me to let things go and not have to worry about it. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about on today's episode. I wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter, even though I'm at like 22 minutes. I wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter. So yeah, I love you guys as always. You guys know where you can find the podcast: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And then you guys can find the socials on everywhere. We're streaming on all socials: Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You guys can still get your little wristbands. I'm still selling these, so you guys message me if you want to get one. But I love you guys as always, and thank you guys for listening to this episode. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. I do plan on having some more guests on very, very soon, so I'm excited about that. And it should be a lot of fun. So I love you guys as always, and I will talk to you guys next Wednesday. Bye.